welcome once again to Core Discussions. My name is Legacy, host and moderator. We're just a group of friends that always had arguments over things and want to do a channel. So here we are finally doing it. We're going to go around the room to introduce ourselves. Again, my name is Legacy.
And I'm Max, and we'll welcome our special guest once again.
Candace, married to this one.
I am Bobby D3.
I am Ian Catan. Welcome.
And I am Vitamin J.
We are missing somebody here. Had to work, but stuff happens. As well as there's one person, Bobby's wife, Laura. She contributed to this list. Today we are talking about musicals. Movie musicals, to be precise. Movie musicals. It must be the theatric version. We do not count it if it's a tape recording of a Broadway stage play. No, it must be theatrical. Though some people didn't pay attention to those rules, Ian. But you know what? It's all good.
And we also didn't include like Disney.
Yeah, Disney.
Movies.
Those are a whole nother thing. That will be a podcast for another time.
Otherwise, our list would be chock full.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would change some of the list. But all of these are classics. Are you guys ready to go?
Yes.
Let's go.
So on this list, we did actually have. I'm surprised. We did actually. The reason we also initially were adding some other people because some don't watch as many musicals as others, but we were still able to get about 20 over probably about 30 musicals on this again. None of them got votes from every single person here. So there's some discrepancy. I think the most something got was all but two people. Oh no, one got all but one person. So that's going to be interesting. So we're going to start with our number 10. There were no ties here. So everything was just individually, which is surprising. Usually there's some ties. All right. So just to go in, everybody sent me a list. I did it. 10 points for their first, 1 point for their 10th, so on. Top 10 gets in. All right. Going in at number 10 with 11 points, voted on by Max, put it 8. Laura put it number 4. And Candace also put it number 8. It is starring the great Meryl Streep, Pierce Brosnan, Colin Firth, Amanda Seyfried, and Stellan Skarsgård. It is Mamma Mia, which is also Mamma Mia had been made with the most delicious, joyful abandon, and all it asks is that you joyfully and deliciously abandon yourself to do it.
Oh, someone trying to eat the movie or something over there? Delicious twice.
That is it. So I'll let you all go on Mamma Mia.
Start out to have a movie, a musical, because it was in Broadway before it became a movie, all around, one group's music. So it's all ABBA songs. So that, they're one of the first to really do that. And the cast is great, I think, even though, some of them were not the best singers. But I think that they.
sorry, Pierce Brosnan. You're devilishly handsome, but the singing.
They still portrayed their characters very well. So.
This movie probably would have made higher mine, but the singing is definitely not up to snuff as some other musicals. It's not bad, but it's definitely. I don't think the singing in this movie is as iconic as others. So.
They didn't really pick musicians.
Right, exactly. So
it was a great cast, but not a whole lot of actors.
Which is why you have Pierce Brosnan up there, not. Sounding like I would sounding. Maybe a little better, but still.
You can keep going.
Oh, no, I'm done.
It's also a fun movie. I was surprised how much I ended up liking it. I think really good cast, but just the idea of her trying to figure out who the father is and that whole it's just a fun movie. It's really a fun movie. And again, though the singing wasn't the greatest, as opposed to other ones where everybody's this awesome singer, the songs still work. Even Pierce Brosnan's songs are still good.
Yeah. Dancing Queen is an iconic song done by ABBA or anybody else.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I was gonna say, what were some of your favorite songs or favorite?
My favorite from the movie would be Dancing Queen.
Oh,
Dancer Queen.
I'm the winner takes it all. I
Now,
like a good ballad.
I bet you're surprised I didn't pick the second one since Cher's in it.
A little.
It's only because I hadn't seen it.
But
I will say Amanda Seyfried wins either way, no matter who her father is. She gets Colin Firth, Pierce Brosnan, or Stellan Skarsgård.
yeah,
That's not a bad trio to pick from.
true. And I did like. Spoiler alert. They didn't ever answer the question.
Yeah.
Unless they answered in the second one. But in the first one, they don't answer the question. So I kind of liked.
Because they
just
kind of say, like, it doesn't matter. I love you all anyway.
Yeah. So that was kind of a cool thing because the whole time you're like, are they going to think? And usually that would annoy me, but in the movie, it like works. It's like, okay, yeah, they all win.
They kind of have a live and let live kind of personality on that island. So
Yeah. Okay. Good. Anybody else have any thoughts?
I haven't seen it.
I know Jake was on each of these.
All right. This next one coming in at number 9 with 12 points. D3 put it at number 8. Candace put it at number 2. It is the 1944 classic with a very 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. A musical that even the deaf should enjoy. With starring Judy Garland. It is Meet Me in St. Louis.
Yes. First of all, for me, this classic Judy Garland. Perfect age, perfect. The music was perfect for her. It actually takes place over an entire year, and they set it up between all 4 seasons. So you get different parts of it. It's where the classic song "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas" comes from. And it was actually, fun fact, had much more depressing lyrics originally. And in the movie, spoiler alert from, 1944, the family the dad is being transferred to New York. So they're going to be moving St. Louis. They're going to New York. The youngest daughter has a complete meltdown that she's leaving. And so Judy Garland's character, as the older sister, sings this song for her. And the original lyrics were so depressing that Judy Garland said that she could not sing this to the little girl.
Oh, wow.
To make everybody cry, and she felt like she would be a villain because it was so depressing. So the lyrics that it was changed to is the classic lyrics that we know today.
I'm surprised I let her change it with the way they
They
treated her.
did.
Yeah.
It also has the Trolley song in it, which has been in many classic cartoons later, making fun of the Trolley song, but it's an awesome song.
D3.
This is one of the first musicals that actually had the songs incorporate naturally. It wasn't forced. They didn't force the songs in there. They made it more natural. So people were singing. There's a reason for it. The very first song that you hear is "Meet Me in St. Louis." It's just the kids singing it, then the granddad singing it, but that's just during the house singing. It felt natural. It didn't felt forced. Probably song and all the others. So I did like that aspect. And it's also interesting. The director was her future husband.
Yes.
I think his name was Vincent Minnelli. His
Yeah.
first name was Vincent. I can't never remember it.
Yep.
And Judy Garland did not want to play another teenager, but he helped convince her to play a teenage role again. And really, I mean, a lot of the songs in there are great. I mean, I say it's definitely one of the classic ones, and seeing it, I do recommend you watch it. And Margaret O'Brien, who plays the youngest sister, she did a really great job for a child actor.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be surprised to know I haven't seen this one either.
I haven't either.
I think they're the only two that have seen
Y'all
it.
should just go home now and watch
I'm
it.
surprised you didn't make me see it.
I try not to make
It's on HBO Max.
Okay.
or I own it on DVD.
I
I used to own it on VHS.
I
Before
have the
that.
Blu-ray. I do have the Blu-ray if you want it.
So there's a lot of options for us to watch it.
Lots of options.
In the next year, are we going to watch it? Probably not all of us, but still, there's options. We're going to go into our 8th place musical, again voted on by 2 people, going at 13 points. A little disappointed in all of you all for not putting it here. Sits on a high pedestal, the best movie musical of all time. Even though I didn't vote at number 1, it was voted on by number 1 by somebody here. So I voted it at 8. Bobby voted at number 1. It's the classic "Singing in the Rain."
I am
D3.
shocked. I am
Oh,
shocked.
sorry.
First of all, it has the amazing Gene Kelly in that. He is also the director of this movie, and it also has Debbie Reynolds and I believe Kyle O'Connor. That's his name. And to me, he was the MVP of this movie, especially when he did the song "Make 'Em
Donald
Laugh."
O'Connor.
Oh, O'Connor, thank you. I had the last name right, but he was the MVP of this movie. He was by far the funniest character, and like I said, his song "Make 'Em Laugh." I mean, a lot of people still do that routine to this day. They imitate this song a lot. And then, of course, the title song was actually not made for the movie. It was made a while ago before, I think in the 20s. So it wasn't even made for the movie. But when Gene Kelly sings it, you get that childlike exuberance of playing in the rain. You just feel the whimsicalness of him singing how happy he is. Really a great movie.
I love the part 2 at the end where the police officer kind of judges him, and he's just like, like he's like pretending like he's gonna arrest him or something. He's like, I'm just singing. I'm not doing anything. This should have been on my list. I forgot this was like a musical. This would have definitely made my list.
My God. Classic. Like you said, high. Always the one thing like everybody knows. He did that with pneumonia, or singing. Doing
High
that,
fever.
like,
He was sick.
yeah, he was sick, and it's like, and if you don't know, so how Hollywood works when you do rain scenes, the droplets actually have to be bigger. So they show up on camera. They're like 3 times bigger than they are in real life. And also, so imagine you're having to sing this. You're sick and do the dance. Like there's not a whole lot of dance, but still do all of this as well as there's all this rain coming on you, and you probably don't feel really great. So that's always impressive because he did such a great performance. There is a little more history. I believe Candace told me a long time ago about this movie. This music was not all made for the musical. It's just random music they had, and they just kind of put it together in a musical. Like if you kind of listen to some of the songs, you'll notice they're not all similar, just the way they go. So kind of just how movies did things back then, how movie companies owned. They just owned a bunch of songs. They're like, well, we got to do some of these songs. Oh, let's make a musical. But it works. I think it's really good. My favorite song actually from this, even though "Singing in the Rain" is a good one, is "Good Morning." Actually, is my favorite song.
That's a very catchy one.
That's a good one.
I think they all just like do well with each one of them, and just the nice dancing with it. So I think that one's just like, I know "Singing in the Rain" is the most popular, but "Good Morning" is still a popular song, but still just gets it better.
And the last thing I'll say about it, it has an interesting plot. A period in time not a lot of people talk about is the transition from silent film to talking films.
Cool.
It does discuss like how some people weren't cut out for talking films.
Mm-hmm. Sure, that is a whole like another thing. Yeah. No, that was good. I also didn't see this movie. Like I heard it, but I didn't see it till I was 16. I had no clue what the plot was. I didn't know "Singing in the Rain," but I didn't know what the plot was. So very good. Even Gene Hagen, who plays like technically the villain in the role, good job. Like very solid villain.
That voice is, you never forget it once you hear it.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. So that is it. Unless anybody else, Vitamin J, I know you're chomping at the bit for this movie.
I've actually seen it. Yeah, I can't really add to the discussion. I've only seen it once.
It's good.
I know the famous scene. I remember the famous scene, obviously, of him, singing in the rain. But
Yeah.
no, I mean that scene is good, and it's like a one of the probably the most well-known movie scenes, let alone musical scenes stuff.
True. Also, it does. I think they started the trope probably because how long ago it was made, and because it was still early. Of somebody substituting voices and them like getting revealed at the end. So I'm pretty sure they were the ones who started that. Of like, oh, this singer is so great, but then they can't sing, and we have to get somebody else. So I'm pretty sure they were the ones who started that.
She was Millie before they were.
Mm-hmm. So that was good. All right, the next one, number 7, is again like these were pretty close because number 7, again, only 2 people voted for this one. 14, it is about to be actually remade this year. It is a big classic coming from a very popular play that we all know, coming from Romeo and Juliet, based off that. It is West Side Story. I put it at 6. Mr. Catan put it at number 2. I'll let Mr. Catan hit this one.
This movie I just really enjoy. I feel like I enjoy it more than most people. I don't know why. There's just something about the Sharks versus the freaking whatever they're called. I can't remember right now. But
Jets, I believe.
The Jets.
the Sharks versus the Jets. It's just such a cool rivalry, and like I don't know, like a lot of the songs are very memorable to me. Like tonight, I'll sing that song by myself in the car sometimes because I just love that song so much. And also like the parts where you have the two gangs singing, and then you have the two people that love each other singing the song. It's like there's just so much beauty in it, and how they're able to combine both the stories together. There's a lot of tragedy in it as well with certain character deaths, and it's just a really cool story. You really can get yourself invested in it and feel like you're a part of it. So that's why I really like it. There's so many great memorable scenes in it. The dancing is also really good. Like I don't know if the guys take ballet or something, but like whatever they did looked really good.
Very intimidating gang member for those snapping on cue.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Jumps.
I gotta say, like, even the way it starts, because it's like 5 minutes of them just snapping and dancing. Like it's just how it's no singing, nothing, just snapping and dancing. That's like the first however long. I will to the shock of like probably not Vitamin J or Max over here. You know where I first saw that movie? It's in high school, freshman year, English class.
I saw it in high school too, freshman year.
Yeah, we watched it because we were after we did Romeo and Juliet to compare. Yep. So kind of the comparisons are kind of cool and interesting how they like which characters overlapped which characters, as well as I think the premise of it at that time of like hitting, we're gonna switch it up to now making it a racial thing, which is pretty cool. Which has been like very interesting at that point, especially because how things were, especially back then. I will say the music was really good. My favorite song was definitely "Living in America."
Oh yeah, that's that
is very catchy. Kind of the back and forth they're having on the roof. That is always going to be my favorite one. And yes, when she said, I feel pretty, and gay," yes, our whole class did bust out laughing. You know, we were 14. Like, what are you gonna do? Come on.
They said,
yeah, we're like, yeah, gay.
It's almost like words change meanings after a while.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I have not seen this one.
You'd like it. It's really, really good.
I wish Hollywood would stop remaking stuff that is considered classics. That'd be great.
I'm interested to see what they do with this new one.
I'm actually interested.
I mean, it is Spielberg doing it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like kind of interested. But
it'd be great if they did like maybe a sequel, something like not a remake.
I don't know.
So maybe it's like their kids or something like that.
I don't know. They've done the sequels before. They've done the sequels before, and to some of these a movie we might discuss later, and yeah, that sequel was some trash.
Yeah.
It did. It did.
I know. I know. Yeah.
That's like the only cool part of that movie.
All right.
And Bobby, really, you've never seen West Side Story? Like, come on.
Never seen it.
You would like it. You wouldn't be disappointed. I promise you. You have my seal of approval.
It's old enough for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Or maybe not quite old enough.
I know, not prompt, but still, it's back then. Next one we're gonna hit. I know you've been chomping at the bit, Max. It's your fourth. Yeah, it's your fourth, and Catan's third, coming in at 15 points. It is sixth movie. It is. Sorry, I had it. It is a timeless classic in which we have all seen. All these adventures are interesting and charmingly. I can't even read right now, but we know what that word is. Depicted and charmingly depicted, and sometimes you would
keep this in.
in this dreamland yourself. So it is the Wizard of Oz.
I'll start because I finally have one on here. I'm not going to have many on this list, so let me go ahead and speak on this. But this one, this is about as classic as a classic can get. Not even just for a musical, but it's probably one of the oldest movies people have seen collectively. I mean, it came out in 1939, but even then, most people, even younger people these days, have seen Wizard of Oz, or at least know about it. Probably thanks to Wicked, that helps. But this one is good. You get the classic story of Dorothy and the Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion going to see the Wizard of Oz, and I don't know, I liked it. It was good, minus the controversies that happened on set. Fun fact: the guy who originally played Tin Man, he eventually had to get out of the movie because the silver paint, I think, was filled with lead or something like that. So they pretty much ruined his health for the rest of his life, so he couldn't play Tin Man. So. And they had to get the new guy in there, and they didn't use lead paint that next time. I forget what they used, but they used something else. But maybe not some fun fact, but he had issues the rest of his life because of that.
And he wasn't even in the film.
No,
And you have that, and then you have the treatment of Judy Garland. So overall, behind the scenes part.
And documented that, because we've said it. Old Hollywood. Damn.
Golden era.
You got Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch, also sustained injuries that could have been a lot worse.
And I believe, fun fact for her is she was on Sesame Street or maybe Mr. Rogers, one of those two.
Mr.
One
Rogers.
of those shows. And I don't think they've ever replayed the episode because it scared so many kids.
She's the Wicked Witch.
Because she came on there as the Wicked Witch.
Yeah.
And apparently she was so frightening.
No, she came on Mr. Rogers because Mr. Rogers invited her so she could show kids that she's not evil. So
Yeah.
I did
It
not
might have
know
been a different
that.
kids show with the witch, but yeah, she showed up there. Because she said that when she was a teacher, kids would be terrified of her because of the witch. So she wanted to do Mr. Rogers to show that she's not so bad.
That's awesome.
I've actually seen the episode. You can find it on YouTube. So
that's the crossover we all needed.
But she did have a great witch cackle.
Yeah.
I think she did a great job.
All right.
I will say too, not to cut you off, I really like the music in this movie as well. Like the soundtrack, there's so many songs that like everyone like freaking knows. Like, Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead, we're off to see the Wizard, Wonderful Wizard of Oz. I mean, there's so many great songs. There's more, If I Only Had a Brain, Follow the Yellow Brick Road. There's more even, but like every single song, like pretty much everyone knows. Like even if I feel like kids like that even haven't even seen the movie will know like half the songs here. It's like that memorable. So it's like that has to be said too. Whoever made the sound design was really well made.
Like when they went from black and white to color, that moment will always be. You just be shocked. You think a lot of times I remember all those guys like, oh, it's black and white. And when they put it in color, it grabbed my attention as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby, now that you're older, you grew up, you're like, oh, color. Black and white.
I was like, go back.
That lives in black and white.
Can I get the reverse?
Ruined it.
It's so good. That's why Bobby didn't vote for it.
Actually, I did overlook that. I probably would have taken off a movie or two to put it on there, but I just totally overlooked
One of
it.
the most classic musicals.
Max, what's your favorite song from it?
Out to See the Wizard.
Not so
Bobby, if you ever show yourself on camera, I can put a black and white filter over your cam if you want.
Ooh, that'd be a nice little bit. That'd be a nice little bit to do.
There's your gimmick. There's your gimmick.
I mean, you can have a cigarette out. There's always a cigarette somewhere.
Oh, of course.
We can edit that in.
And you have to dress like an old.
Yeah, you have to dress in a suit pretty much.
Like a noir detective, like you're from Maltese Falcon.
And everything.
And you better get some old timey sayings.
Yeah,
That's
just watch
hogwash.
Maltese Falcon and get all of Bogart's dialogue. You'll be just fine.
Watch some Dick Tracy. Do that too.
He has already. Unpopular opinion, I think this is overrated.
Your face is over.
I mean,
I think Wizard of Oz is overrated. I think it's.
for someone named Legacy, you are wrong, but continue.
I've seen it. Do I need to see it again? No.
This may be like the only movie where like people from the 30s to now have seen. There's been like what 7-8 generations now that have seen this movie.
Yeah, I know.
Say that.
It's okay. It's okay. Is it like I'm a musical fan, but is this like top? Was this dying to be on my list? No. I kind of was like,
When
It was there.
When your selection is as limited as mine, it has to be on there.
A kid, my mom used to fast forward through any time the flying monkeys were on because they actually scared her, and so she was afraid they were going to scare us as children. And they didn't scare us; they only scared her.
Oh, yeah. Well, her mom wouldn't let her see Men in Black back in the day because of the bug sliding into the windshield in the beginning of the movie. Just let you know what we're dealing with here.
Why? Because it's gross?
It was gross.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, it is what it is. All right. So let's move on to our next movie. This one jumps up a little bit at 5th place with 22 points. It was voted on by 3 people. It is so nice, so cheerful. Its character is so indefatigable or whatever that it's impossible to hate them.
You're having a hard time reading today.
Yeah,
And-
you know it's been a long day, guys.
Indefatigable.
Yeah, it's been a long day. It's starring Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Michelle Williams. It is The Greatest Showman. D3 put it at number 6. Laura put it at number 2. And Candace put it at number 3. So I will let you all discuss that. Candace, if you want to start off with The Greatest Showman.
I can start off. For me, this is the best musical that's been made in most recent years. I think the music is amazing. It took a very long time to make. Hugh Jackman had been working on getting this made since 2009. It took him over 10 years to get it into production because people kept passing on it, thinking that musicals would not really come back. So it wasn't going to be good enough. The cast is amazing. The set production is amazing, and the music is just I can sing every song over and over again. And I think a lot of age groups like it. Like me, my parents love it, and my children who are 4 and 5 love it. So I think it. Obviously, for me, it's very high up there.
I haven't seen it, but the one song that I do know sounds pleasant to my ears. The beginning song in the beginning. I forget what it's called.
This is The Greatest Show.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that is also my favorite song from that. Just the whole.
All I'm gonna say is it's very unfair for Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron to be so handsome and can sing so well. It's just not fair.
Just giving regular guys like us no chance, man.
Some guys are born without a luck.
And I do think their song they do together, The Other Side, is the best song in the movie.
Yeah, it's great.
And I would say this movie has very good songs. That's why I have it so highly rated. 'Cause I do think the songs are really good in this movie.
I know some people complain about the portrayal of P.T. Barnum, and they say that this isn't a realistic portrayal, but it's a musical. So how about get over it? This is not supposed to be a biopic. This is a musical based loosely on someone's life. So,
and it's Disney. Like, they weren't going to drag him down the mud.
Quit taking everything in life so seriously is what I guess.
And yes, we know who was it? Rebecca Ferguson's character was not in love with him and actually hated his guts. Another thing, fun fact, is when you see for all movies to get greenlit, you have to go in front of whoever the producers or whatever, and they have to greenlight the movie. They'll do something. So for musicals, they usually have to do performances and stuff before they greenlit it to finally let it happen. So there's 2 songs. There's "This Is Me," which was sang by Keila Settle. I'm sorry if I butchered her name. On the off chance she ever watched this, my apologies. She was very nervous, and she's like, you hear that song, like, that woman, listen to her voice, like, good Lord. I mean, I don't know how you're nervous with that voice about singing. She was very nervous, and she always jokes with Hugh Jackman about, like, it's because of you I did this, and she, like, you could see even kind of in the performance, she's shaking a little, looking at him the whole time when, like, the biz execs are there. As well as, I forgot which song Hugh Jackman sings. One of his songs that they do, he actually had some operation on his nose. I forgot, I think it was cancer or something. There was a spot or something.
He's had melanoma
a
few times.
And he was not supposed to sing for that point. But when they did it, he just had the operation. They didn't tell the executives Hugh Jackman can't sing because they thought, oh, we're going to cancel the movie. Like, the producers were like, do not tell them that. Just show up. Do not tell them we'll figure out the singing thing. but he then like there's a part and when they're doing his song he's supposed to sing, like he's not singing for a while and then finally like belts out his part. So it's kind of like cool when you see the behind the scenes for that. So really cool musical. Also Zendaya, shout out to Zendaya.
Kids all like this movie too.
Then Candace, what was your favorite song from it?
I did From Now On, which I think was the one that
Yes,
singing,
that is
because it's like encompasses the entire movie at that point, because it's near the very end and it's him coming to a realization that this group of misfits is his family, you know, and no matter what happens, they're in it together.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very well done. Anybody else got anything?
I think you guys got it.
Seen it.
All right.